I'm no fan of our current regime. I genuinely do think a lot of them are shady and have monopolized student life in such a way where they have more power than they should. But someone pointed out to me that even if we're able to tear all that down, there's going to be a power vacuum. Someone is always going to be on top. So do we constantly tear that person down to fight for some sense of equality, or are we just replacing the current authority with ourselves? Even then, I'm starting to realize we've been punching down on one guy who I think was paid for his mistakes, and we've dragged in people who have nothing to do with that situation. I never signed on for that.
Guess you're not as dumb as you look. Sounds like you have it just about figured out. Kai is using you, just like he used everyone in our group for his own ends. His whole my equality thing is just a bad joke to try to make saps like you be able to justify themselves. You're no better than the guys you claim to be against, really, and some of them have done worse things than you. You've been Kai's useful idiot.
Adrian, stop. There's no need to berate him like this.
Oh, do you want to go coddle with him like Shiro because he finally figured out that he's been a horrible person? Better late than never, I guess, but it doesn't absolve any of the damage he's done.
Adrian.
You really need to stop forgiving people so quickly, Yuri. Shiro's one thing, but you wanting to coddle this piece of shit is something I'll be damned to sit here and listen to you try to justify why we should all be singing Kumbaya. Kumbaya, rather.
I'm not saying any of that. Just calm down, please. You're making a scene.
Yuri says as she nervously looks around the table, scouting to see if anyone has noticed the commotion. Yeah, whatever. I'm done here. Eventually, Monica clears her voice and turns to Yuri.
What's his deal? I don't know. He's been acting unusually aggressive these last few days. He's been paranoid about Shiro falling in love with me, and wants me to avoid him as much as possible. That doesn't sound like Adrian.
The girls look off into space, lost in thought. Randy clears his throat, breaking them out of their train of thought. Well, I'll take that as my cue to head out. I really should be getting back to class. I hope I didn't spoil your lunches, ladies.
Oh, no, you didn't. It was honestly a pleasure to get to know you, Randy.
Yeah, likewise.
Take care, Randy. See you around.
Randy nods to Yuri as he turns to Yuri, who is wistfully staring out the same set of doors that Adrian just stormed out of. Randy lets out a sigh and begins his walk back to class. The school day comes to an end and club time begins. The Literature Club gathers for their meeting for the day, though today's gathering may prove to be more personal than business-related.
Okay, everyone, gather round. There's something I'd like to discuss with everyone. Judging by the tone in your voice, I take it it's pretty serious.
Natsuki says as she grabs a seat in the middle of the room.
So, this will be bringing you up to speed, but I'm sure we're all at least generally aware of the situation since we've all seen it at one point. And since the boys aren't here, I feel more comfortable bringing this up.
Sayori and Yuri silently grab their seats in the middle of the room as Monica sits on a desk in front of them.
So, Yuri, I don't mean to intrude into your private life, but as the club president and your friend, I feel like it's my responsibility to ask you this. And I didn't feel like asking you this right away at lunch since things had just happened, but... Go on. Are things okay between you and Adrian? I know you said he's been more on edge lately, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're concerned about you guys. I've tried texting and calling him after lunch, and the only response I've gotten back was him saying that he was fine.
Yuri says as she holds up her phone for the club to see.
He's become increasingly agitated and paranoid with me being around Shiro, and I think that's begun to affect his general mood. He's been acting more physically affectionate around me when we're around other guys, not that I so much mind that. He constantly brings up Shiro and puts him down, saying he's not to be trusted, and that his behavior towards Randy today was uncalled for.
Wait, Randy Barrett's there with you guys?
He accidentally ruined my lunch. He offered to buy me a new one, and I accepted and invited him to join us for a bit. Then Adrian joined us and was being rude to him constantly.
Jesus. Yeah, I've never seen him act like that before.
And him wanting to keep you away from Shiro, that's a red flag. Shiro might have done some questionable things before, but he's had fine in the club so far. Yes, exactly. That's what I've been telling him, but he refuses to listen. He either always makes us drop the subject or walks off.
I can also confirm he's been acting paranoid around Shiro. I talked to him yesterday and he was asking me about him. For what it's worth, I don't think he believes you'd leave him for Shiro, but he doesn't want his problems getting in the way of your guys' relationship.
Yes, he's made that no secret from me. Well, I think it ultimately boils down to this, Yuri. Do you love Adrian? Of course I do. I love him with all my heart. He's been the first boy I've ever met that didn't want me for some sick, twisted reason. He genuinely cares about me, and I know that despite his efforts to try to control me, as much as that pains me to admit now, I've been able to establish a positive, healthy relationship with Shiro. I don't have the slightest sense that he views me romantically, nor do I believe he'd try to get in the way of my relationship. If Adrian chooses not to like Shiro, that is his prerogative, and I can understand why he'd be on guard around him. But he can't just blow up every time I'm around him, or his name comes up, which he usually says his name first anyways. It's just, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't want to see him like this, and his outbursts are quite frankly starting to scare me a little bit even. I'm not experienced in this whole relationship thing. I don't know what it truly means to be a good girlfriend. And if I leave or threaten to leave, then that just means I lose everything he and I have worked towards together. And I'll be all alone again.
Yuri says, her voice quivering. Sayori gets up from her seat and embraces Yuri.
You're not going to be alone, Yuri. You love us, and we'll support you no matter what you decide to do.
Thank you, Sayori.
Sayori embraces Yuri for a few minutes longer. A few minutes? Like, actual whole 60-second minutes? And longer as she gets her breathing under control. Sayori then retakes her seat at her desk. Oh, God.
To throw in my 2 cents, I don't even think you need to threaten to break up with Adrian. I don't think he'd leave you, but you shouldn't stand for him constantly bringing up Shiro and talking shit about him to your face. If you want to be friends with him, it's your choice. He needs to learn to respect it. I'm surprised he's acting this childish. He's always been the most mature guy I've known.
You'll forget I'm his first love, too. He told me the other day how I'm the only one who's ever lit up his world, and how much he wants to make sure our relationship works. I'll also admit it was surprising to hear him share how he knew Guy. He had mentioned that story to me before in broad strokes, but I never pined for details. I knew he had a troubled youth, but he's been able to overcome that as far as I could tell.
I guess he never learns to get over his distrust of people. He hasn't made any ultimatums or demands from you, has he?
Other than to stop talking to Shiro and to avoid him, no.
Well, that's good at least. Honestly, my advice is if you want to stay with Adrian and you see yourself with him in the future, you need to make sure he understands that this kind of behavior from him is unacceptable. It might be useful for Shiro to have his own sit-down with Adrian, just so those two can iron out their differences, but I think it's best that they do that themselves, rather than us pushing them to do it. Plus, guys handle their differences differently from us girls. They'll fight it out for a period of time, but then they'll act like best bros again once it's all said and done.
The only problem with that is Adrian has never exactly held a high opinion of Shiro, and I'm not sure I can do anything on his behalf to raise it. Once Adrian establishes an opinion on someone, it's very hard for him to change it.
Maybe talking to him will make him rise to the occasion. If he doesn't, then you may have to reevaluate your relationship with him.
He's a good guy, Monica. He loves and trusts me completely. If anyone can get through to him, it's me.
We're all rooting for you. You know, just some food for thought here.
The girls turn their attention to Natsuki.
Adrian's whole thing against Jiro is that he's this black hole for problems and he sucks other people into them.
Yes, that's right.
So, what if somehow we're able to resolve the whole problem surrounding Jiro? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that Shiro is here mostly because Kai torpedoed the anime club using that Michael guy. That's what Charlotte was looking into, right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, what if we're able to prove that Kai actually did all that? The school would then have to take action against him. Then that would remove Adrian's biggest complaint against Shiro because that problem would go away.
I get what you're saying, and as good as that'd be, how do we prove Kai did all that? And I have my own reservations about getting involved in that whole mess. I don't want the literature club to be the next target.
No.
I do. A friend who decided to pick up where Shiloh left off. I did promise her that I'd help her in any way I could, and I would appreciate it if you guys would consider doing the same. Well, if there's a way we can really be helpful, then I'd be happy to consider. But us getting involved is the absolute last thing I want our club to be mixed up in. What Natsuki's saying does make sense, though I think you still need to talk to Adrian about this behavior. It still doesn't make it right. Yeah, just talk to Adrian and try to get him to listen. But I do think somehow getting to the bottom of this whole Kai mess with Shiro would help get things back to normal for everybody.
What do you think, Yuri? You think I'm right, or am I just talking crazy?
Yuri pauses as she stares out the window for a full minute before responding.
I think you guys are right. Maybe we should consider getting involved.
Adrian stalks the empty hallway, loitering around the school with no particular destination in mind. I do want to try to stick around until Yuri's club is over, he thought to himself. But does she even want to see me right now, after I blew up in front of her, much less in front of her friends? God, what kind of boyfriend does that? Clearly the one that cares enough about the company his girlfriend keeps, it seems. I don't know what's gotten into Yuri lately. It's like she's hanging around every possible degenerate she can think of and insists that they're a good person. That's always been her problem. She tries to see the best in people and ignores the red flags like a bull. I mean, come on. First Shiro, now Randy. God, what's next? She's going to be hanging around Kai. Adrian scoffs to himself as he turns the corner, nearly bumping into someone. Hey, mind where you're Did I catch? Mind where you're walking. That's what he said. Adrian's eyes narrow once he sees who it is he has run into. I don't believe it. Oh, great, you're back already.
Nice day for a stroll, isn't it, Adrian?
The hell do you want? If you're here to say hi, I'd prefer you just tell me to go fuck myself and leave.
Actually, I wanted to show you something.
There's nothing you can show me that I could possibly care about.
You might feel differently once you realize what your girlfriend's been up to.
Adrian lunges at Kai, grabbing him by the collar and slamming him against the nearby locker.
Ah, easy, you still got bruises.
You're gonna get another layer if you don't keep your shitty mouth shut. When was it the last time I told you if you ever said Yuri's name again? I'd cut your face off and sell it as a Halloween mask. Well, Halloween is coming up.
Before you make good on that threat, at least see what I have to show you, you ingrate.
You have exactly 30 seconds before I make those bruises visible again. Kai nonchalantly takes out his phone and scrolls to his camera roll. He then finds the photos he wanted to show Adrian and hands him his phone.
Is this your girl, man?
Adrian yanks Kai's phone from him and takes a good long look at the photo pulled up. No. His veins turn ice cold as he stares at the screen. This can't be what I think it is. What are they doing? Adrian's veins begin to boil. He looks up at Kai, a mix of sorrow and fury on his face. Kai simply stares back at him, stone-faced. There's no way.
I'm afraid there is. Your girl seems to have left you for Shiro. That's truly disappointing.
Adrian takes another look at the photos. When was this, and how did you get it?
Those were from yesterday. An associate of mine just so happens to be at the right place at the right time.
A coy smile creeps along Kai's face.
I have no need to further quarrel with Shiro, but it seems like your issues with him are now just beginning. If it was my girl he stole, I'd kill him.
Adrian stares back at Kai with a cold, dead stare of a recoiled viper. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
There's some irony in it for me, yes. I'm just doing this as a courtesy, as one former partner to another. That's all there is to it.
You're full of shit.
But you deny the proof before your very own eyes.
Adrian takes yet another look at the photo. Either this is the best Photoshop job I've ever seen, or it's real.
I suppose it's real. I'm sending this to myself.
Have at it.
Adrian sends the photos to himself, and promptly deletes his number off of Kai's phone.
Here, I don't need your weird-ass texting or calling me at weird times, or giving out my number to your lackeys.
Fair enough. Though we can still easily get it one way or another.
Whatever.
Well, Adrian, sorry to hear you're having girl problems. I don't know why you let Yuri hang around Shiro like that. You know how he is.
That's what I've been trying to tell her. I don't like Shiro any more than you do. That's the only thing we have in common.
Maybe so.
Well, thanks for showing me, I guess.
No need to thank me. Just doing my job as an upstanding citizen.
Sure. Whatever, see ya.
And that's it for the Dueling Hearts arc. Oh my gosh. So the reason they had like 3 episodes is because the one episode was like 2 days worth. Wow. Wowee. Like, whoa. And that's gonna do it for Branching Paths for now. We will, we'll have to see what happens in the grand finale when it comes out. Boy. I don't quite have enough footage to cover me for the week, but I'm going to see if I get over whatever it is I've caught here. Because my goodness, thank goodness for mute keys, man. I have spared you a lot of sputtering and snorting. You might have noticed a couple times in there where I just like kind of stopped talking for a little bit. Yeah, that was clearing out fluids from my face. Yay, I'm sure that's exactly the thing you wanted to hear today. But you know, whatever. Illnesses are part of life. Yeah. So gosh, it feels almost like they're kind of pushing Shiro and Yuri together, which is really ironic. That's about all I have to say about it. I might have more complex thoughts if my brain was working right now. Oh yeah, there's more. The school day has come to an end. The students have already made their way home as they prepare to enjoy the remainder of their day, though some of them have important business to attend to before they can enjoy themselves. Sam walks down the sidewalk, slowly pacing herself with every step she took. She looks down at her phone's GPS to confirm she's heading the right way.
Oh goodness, thankfully it's one more block. I really wish the train station was closer. I'm used to being driven to Sayori's house. Not that I should be doing much physical exercise right now, anyways. Doctor's orders. But this can't wait. I need to know. If Michael was trying to protect me from Kyle this time, I need to know if that's what started it all. If that's the reason he left the anime club and kickstarted this chain of reaction of events.
Sam finally reaches the address on her phone.
Yup, this is it.
She slowly walks up the steps and knocks on the door. Well, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes, but that's going to do it for now. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with more Doki Doki, and hopefully less ailments. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.